Yes, ma'am. Next presentation by Dr. Shivra Tagore, and he will be presenting ocular myasthenia study comparing sensitivity of repeated nerve stimulation versus bedside tests. Presenting author is a non-ratified member.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Okay, you can start.
Can I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Good morning, everyone, respected judges, dignitaries, and members of ARC committee. I would like to thank for letting me present my topic on ocular myasthenia study comparing sensitivity of laboratory test RNS acid, that is RNS and acetylcholine receptor antibodies versus the clinical test, that is forced eye closure test and ISPAC test. I would also like to thank my mentor, Dr. Priyam and Dr. Venkatesh sir, for allowing me to present my topic. Nil financial disclosure in my study. Introduction. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease characterized by antibody-mediated damage to acetylcholine muscle, resulting in impaired neuromuscular transmission, causing fatigability of the skeletal musculature. Ocular myasthenia is a subtype of myasthenia gravis where the weakness is clinically isolated to the extraocular muscles, the levator pallidus superioris, as well as the orbicularis oculi. Currently, there is no established gold standard test for diagnosis of ocular myasthenia. Currently, the current used laboratory tests include endorphonium test, which is widely available but lacks in sensitivity and specificity, SFEMG on orbicularis and frontalis, which has high sensitivity but has a lack of availability, acetylcholine receptor antibodies as well as RNS, which are found to have high specificity but lack in sensitivity, especially in diagnosing ocular myasthenia. Aim of my study was to compare the diagnostic efficacy of the clinical test and the laboratory test in patients with suspected ocular myasthenia. Role of acetylcholine receptor antibody test in predicting progression of ocular myasthenia to generalized myasthenia. The methodology was a prospective study on 68 patients. The patient with suspected ocular myasthenia underwent routine clinical evaluation with FECT and IPT test. Following probable clinical diagnosis, laboratory tests like RNA and acetylcholine receptor antibodies were done. Other tests like TFT, blood glucose, and CT scan were done to rule out other differential diagnoses. The results of FECT and IPT were not used to establish the final diagnosis. So the final diagnosis was established if at least one of the standard diagnosis was positive in absence of other causes, which included presence of acetylcholine receptor antibodies, decremental response of 10% of the third to fifth compound action potential with respect to first after RNS, positive intramuscular neostigmine test. Patient with negative diagnostic result was still considered as ocular myasthenia if they demonstrated unequivocal response to oral steroid and cholinesterase inhibitors for a period of at least 3 months. Results of my study, it was found that the mean age in this population was 48 years, with male being more commonly affected. Acetylcholine receptor antibodies were found positive in 25% of patients, and 13 patients progressed to generalized myasthenia. The sensitivity of forced eye closure was found to be 96.7%, with specificity being 75 and positive predictive value with 96.7%, which was found to be comparatively higher than RNS test. The combined FECT and IPT test with at least one positive was found to be the highest sensitivity, which was comparable to that of combined FECT and RNS test. Although the combined FECT and IPT test with both positive had less sensitivity, it was found that the specificity as well as the positive predictive value was 100%. This was especially useful in patients with suspected ocular myasthenia, which had double negative RNS and acetylcholine receptor bodies. We can still diagnose it to be a myasthenia on the basis of these findings of this study, in which FECT sensitivity and specificity was found to be 100% and 80%. The ISPAC sensitivity and specificity was found to be 70% and 40%. And the combined FECT and IPT with both of them positive in patients who were negative for both RNS and acetylcholine receptor antibody was found to be 100% with a positive predictive value as well as negative predictive value of 100% in our study. The acetylcholine receptor test were positive in 25% patient, 13 out of which progressed to generalized myasthenia. Out of which acetylcholine receptor antibody was positive in 11 patients, and the patients were followed up to 36 months. Patients who developed generalized myasthenia were more likely to have acetylcholine receptor antibody test according to our result. Coming on to discussion, it was found that FECT had the highest diagnostic yield compared to IPT, RNS, and acetylcholine receptor antibody test. 15 patients in our study were double negative for RNS and antibodies. The positive value of combined FECT and IPT with both of them positive are 100%. Also, the negative predictive value of both of at least one was 100%, indicating that diagnosis of ocular arrest is very unlikely if both of these tests are negative. Antibody positivity in our study was 41%, had showed a 41% sensitivity, which falls in the lower limit of previous study, which estimates it to be 40 to 70%. This could be because that studies have shown that certain level of receptor binding saturation, this antibody start to be visible in the peripheral blood. As many of our patients were seen in the early disease, they might not have adequate level of circulating antibodies for detection. Also, the rate of progression of myasthenia was found to be 19%, contrary to the existing studies, which shows 50 to 80% of the myasthenia was generalized to generalized myasthenia. But it might be due to the fact that the early initiation of corticosteroid and paroxysmal in our study, which can also show that if we start steroids early in our study, there is less likely of progression of ocular myasthenia to generalized myasthenia. These are my references. Thank you.
I think rather than using RNFL, if you would have chosen single fiber EMG, then the results might be different. I think so, because that is much more sensitive electrophysiological test.
Yes, ma'am, but the only drawback was that test was not available in our institute. So
Okay, yeah.
we chose to go to detect on acetylcholine receptor antibody was an RNS test as more of a diagnostic.
Good study. Nice.
And the thing is, probably, if you think of ocular myasthenias, may be true, but if we are considering myasthenia otherwise, the problem is probably RNS will be more sensitive. Since as far as the eye is concerned, probably these two simple tests tell us a lot, so that the repetitive nerve stimulation may not be necessary, and maybe this will give us better results. But for myasthenia otherwise, probably this may not hold true, that RNS repetitive nerve stimulation may be the confirmatory test otherwise.
Was
Among
there-
the hello,
Oh, sorry. Okay. Please go ahead.
hello. Among the 19% general myasthenia, how many people went for difficulty in swallowing and respiratory distress?
Sir, no as such respiratory complaints were found, but limb involvement was found in this patient.
Difficulty
Fatigue of
in
the
deglutition.
upper and lower. Bulbar
Difficulty-
involvement and sorry.
Deglutition
No,
distress.
sir. No, sir. Deglutition was not observed in our studies.